We're ready. We are ready. It is 3:18 p.m. on a Wednesday afternoon, and we needed to get on here to discuss this together. If you ever have a question, comment, or concern, leave it down below, and I'll answer to the best of my ability as fast as humanly possible. We're going to get into this video right here that was posted by 𝓔𝓶𝓪𝓲𝓵. I've done a couple of reaction videos on him before. He has some good stuff. If you want to know a lot more military stuff, go to 𝓔𝓶. He's been doing it for a long time, and he has a lot of knowledge. He has a lot of knowledge when it comes down to what's going on with the military right now. Every single branch. He does a lot of reaction videos and stuff like that. If you want to check him out, he goes by just 𝓔𝓶's Travels. So we're gonna go ahead and react to this video that he posted how long ago? 8 months ago. That's all right, it's not that long. 4 reasons Generation X is not joining the military. Because again, what happens if nobody wants to join the military anymore here in the United States? What's gonna happen? We're gonna be forced. First of all, we're gonna be forced. We're gonna be given papers to or orders as a civilian to join the military, just like back in the day, right? You were drafted. That's what's gonna happen. No matter what, we're gonna get some bodies. We're gonna get some bodies in the military. If you're new here to my channel, my name is Manny. I'm a certified personal trainer, creator, owner, and lead instructor of Manny's Fitness program. You can visit my website, mannysfitnessprogram.com. We concentrate on running indoor boot camp and personal training in Lompoc, California. And we also do online coaching. If you want to get into the best shape of your life, visit my website, hit me up there, contact us, and we'll take care of you from there. Other than that, let's get into this video. And again, we're doing this live stream. So I've been trying to get on here on a consistent manner, but I cannot figure out what's a good time. I've been in and out, I've been up and down, and I've been taking care of business here. And man, I cannot figure it out, but I will figure it out sooner or later. But let's get into this video. Let's check it out. So, 4 reasons why.
And I want to understand white rage, and I'm white, and I want to understand it.
I think the U.S. failure in Afghanistan was not the failure solely of the U.S. military, although we certainly bear responsibility for that, but a whole-of-government approach that simply failed.
This is the story of a soldier who operates your nation's Patriot missile defense systems. It begins in California with a little girl raised by 2 moms.
There you have it. There you have it. That's one thing. That's one thing. Don't tell me that I'm discriminating or anything like that. I am going with the natural aspect of things, okay? A woman with a woman cannot procreate, cannot multiply. So let's stick to common sense here, okay? So that's one thing.
I've read Mao Zedong. I've read Karl Marx. I've read Lenin.
This to me is pretty incredible. RF pauses job offers for white men to meet impossible diversity target.
All right, I gave you a little appetizer, some of the potential reasons people aren't joining the military. Let's take a deep dive into this and see if we can get our arms around it, since the U.S. government can't seem to understand what the hell's going on.
Reason number 1, a tight labor market could help explain why no one is joining. The U.S. unemployment rate is at 3.5%, around the lowest it's been in the better part of a decade, meaning recruiters have a smaller pool of recruits to draw from if everyone already has better paying, easier civilian jobs readily available.
Can we agree to take off the table the labor market's so hot, that's why people aren't joining?
No, come on. The labor market is not super hot, super good, or anything like that.
So many opportunities outside the military that people are choosing otherwise. I don't think that's quite it. Stand by.
Reason number 2, trust in the military. The 2021 Reagan National Defense Survey found there was a decline in American confidence.
So a lack of trust in the military has been an ongoing thing, but fast forward to a year ago in Afghanistan, we leave 13 people hung out to dry, and you go, well, maybe it's changed a little bit. I don't know what's going on here, but it seemed like a hasty withdrawal, not a well-planned out thing. You follow me?
Understandable that Americans are experiencing a sense of pessimism. Public trust in the U.S. military has dropped from 70% in 2018 prior to the pandemic to today a lowly 56%. 20%.
Let's think about why trust has gone down. When you had 20 years in the desert, massive leadership failures, the only people you...
In my opinion, the reason why nobody's joining the military is because of laziness. Laziness, not only to wanting to join because you know the hard work that you're going to have to put into that, but also laziness out here. Some people would rather be homeless than to join the military. It's just laziness. We're getting lazy. We're getting comfort. We're getting comfortable. We're just living off just whatever comes to us. The government will feed us or whatever scraps we can get. The internet is big right now. The internet is big. So a lot of people are starting to make money just by being online and doing this and that. So more opportunities, not in the physical market, job market, but in the internet, the whole internet and going into, like, let's say social media. That's also creating jobs. You know, it's a weird type of job, but you can make a living off social media.
See getting burned or junior enlisted. And meanwhile, you see the officers falling forward up the ranks, getting promoted when their leadership, their tactics, their planning sucks. So even a dumbass 17-year-old's going to go, wow, I see the leadership not doing too great, but why do I always see an enlisted guy getting burned somehow? I think they're figuring this out.
National Guard.
Yeah, a lot of bad stuff's been happening in the military, and some of the higher ups and everybody in there is getting tore down, or is getting exposed, and there's been a lot of corruption going on and this and that. Like the people that you least expected to be doing something out of the line and being corrupted are coming out, and everybody's kind of scared of even entering that kind of organization. The military itself overall, they're being curious if they should join something like that to where it's corrupted.
As part of the Unified Command, a riot declared earlier tonight during protests in downtown Portland.
More than 62,000 U.S. National Guard were mobilized to help prevent rioting that happened across the country during
over 4,400 arrests, 62,000 National Guard troops deployed. George Floyd protests by the numbers. Okay.
2020. According to the National Guard Bureau, troops in 23 states were activated by governors to try to stand.
Now, a side note, who in the hell would want to join the National Guard today? You get sucked into working in hospitals because they fired people who didn't want to take this thing. You get hurricane relief, handing out food. You get deployed for ungodly amounts of time. And your job's supposed to be the Georgia National Guard. Like maybe you work in Georgia, not get deployed for 13 months, and all of a sudden you're handing out food, working in hospitals because a policy set. You get it?
Step down and quell the level of disorder.
First of all, in my opinion, a lot of people join the military because of the benefits. All right, let's be real here. Let's be real. A lot of people enter the military for the benefits. There's only certain few that are gung-ho, that are ready to go in and, go overseas and go to war and die for the country. There's a very little percentage of that kind of patriot. Now, we're just going in there expecting give me type of deal, and not really put their life at danger, at risk, or anything like that. They want to do their time, get out, and then use the benefits to elevate them, to help them in whatever career they actually want to do out here in the States. And even inside, if you end up staying inside, you get comfortable. I know a lot of people that, did their 20 years and they never deployed. They never did that or this and that. They were just going from unit to unit, being in charge of a unit, a squad, or this and that, but never really got deployed or fought a war or, any of that. So that tells you not only inside, but outside, it's all about the benefits, being taken care of and stuff like that.
Disorder. Because while trust has declined in the military, they still remain one of the most highly regarded among American institutions, with only 6%.
That's not saying a whole lot. Most American institutions' trust is in the shitter. Congress, terrible. Now, question for you, fine viewers. How much do you trust the CDC, Dr. Fauci? You can see where this goes, where people go, I don't know if the government, the military in this case, looking out for my...
They've been getting a bad rap. The military, the government, military, government, same thing. They've been getting a bad rap. So a lot of people are coming against that more and more as we go further into the years, they're starting to realize and see how corrupted it is. And I got out a while back. Right now, from what I hear, it's just there's more rules, regulations, especially with the whole COVID thing that happened. I can only imagine trying to train and be, because I was a drill instructor in the Marine Corps, and recently I was watching a video to where how the drill instructors were now instructing or are training during the whole COVID thing, and they had to wear masks and everything. And it's already hard enough to be a DI running around correcting and IT recruits teaching and being intense and all that. And now you gotta cover your mouth while you do that. Oh man, it must have been torture, but it's gotta be done. A lot of drill instructors or even a Marine that's in the military, you have no choice. You have no choice. Once you're in there, you do what you're told, and that is it. You do what you're told. Ask questions later.
Best interest if I list. Now I know what you're thinking. Most guys are just in one hitch, but when you've watered it down, you've softened everything up, you've made it look kind of like a laughing stock. Emma's got 3 moms. People don't want to do that. People still want an adventure. They're young adults who want a challenge, and every time you soften it down, recruiting seems to go down. You see any correlation there?
A lot of people go to the military for that challenge, to be that, let's see, out of your comfort type of deal, not something too soft to where you're going to be getting cuddled in there, and now you're training with females, males with females, females with males, so on and so on. That's kind of what's going on right now as well.
Saying they have no trust in the armed forces at all. For comparison, Congress is sitting at a lowly 10% and public education system at a 21%.
I'm joining the Marines in the USA. What do you think? I think you're a fool. You're a fool. Stupid. You ain't protecting nothing but profit.
Andrew Tate, he always had something to say. That's how he made it. He made his money, is saying all these. The majority of stuff was dumb. He was right in some occasions, but he wasn't always completely 100% right.
It's for companies that don't care about you. They'll force you to take injections, which you don't even want.
Yeah, and let's be real here. When you join the military, they own you. They own you. That's one thing that you have to realize. If you're ready to join the military, if you end up joining the military, get ready to give your life over, because you're going to be used as a number. You're just another body. We need bodies in there. And depending on what you do in there, you'll be a little bit more protected, so on and so on, because of the level of skill that you have, talent, or the way that you hold yourself in the military. But be ready to be used. The military just wants bodies. Send them overseas, or whatever we need to be doing in order to protect the country. And then if we lose some, we need more. If we lose some, we just need more. So that going to the military expecting to have your own free will, or you can do the same thing that you can do out here at a 9 to 5, it's not gonna happen. It's not even close. Over there is a 24/7 type of job.
Well, I think a lot of what he says is performance and trolling. If that is truly what people think about patriotism and service in the U.S. military today, then there must be some kind of way to fix this messaging problem.
Here's a messaging problem. There's a leaked memo from the FBI saying the biggest threat to America is veterans, patriot organizations. You go, wonder why patriotism's down. People aren't trusting our institutions. We've got a multi-tier problem. But when you shit on patriotism, you didn't build that. I was never proud of America. I'll let you figure out the president there. They don't want to serve the country, be on the beck and call of the U.S. government, not have as much control of their life. They can get a job of equal money at Starbucks because you've killed the intangible, which is the patriotism.
Be some kind of advertising campaign that the military could run that wouldn't alienate half the country. As part of the Pentagon's reported $1.6 billion in recruitment spending each year, the Army released a new advertising campaign called The Calling in 2021. Let's put it this way, not everyone loved it. Critics said the recruitment campaigns were quote-unquote woke virtue signaling instead of an effective campaign to fill the ranks. Veterans believe that...
Rhetorical question, do you think The Calling helped Army recruitment? They had to turn off the comments on the video because people thought it was dumb. Let's just say you are Emma. You have 2 moms. Does that matter when you decide to go in the military? You want to do your own thing, maybe grow up a little bit, get some adventure in, right? That's what they used to sell. They sell adventure, growing up, the challenge. I mean, you get into this, people just go, I'm not interested. I get force-fed woke shit all the time. Don't need it. No, thank you.
These commercials focused on aspects of new recruits that make them different and individual and special unique snowflakes, which specifically runs counter to the military's traditional culture of unity and selfless service. In reaction, the Army disabled comments on the video to ensure no one could express themselves on the video about expressing yourself.
It's the military. We need to toughen each other up. We need a tough military. We need to toughen each other up. When we go, depending on what branch you go into, let's say Marines, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, stuff like that. Everybody has a level of toughness because of the level of operations that we run, right? The Marines is land, air, and sea. The Army is just land, so on and so on. Navy, ships, sea, all that. So, but they're all tough to a certain extent. It's not about none of that. It's about you going and serving and protecting or being in the offensive if necessary, right? If you're in time of war, then it's going to be the offensive. I served I went overseas to Operation Iraqi Freedom when I was in the Marine Corps. And that was in the defensive, right? That happened right after 9/11. After 9/11, we ended up going on a mission and going to Iraq and all that and taking care of business in the defensive. But there will be times that we will go into the defensive. So it's either defense or offense. Defense or offense. One of those you're going to have to do or have the mentality to be willing to do when you go into the military.
Official reason number 3 for low recruitment, woke military culture?
The Canadian government earmarked 200 million CAD to completely change their military's entire culture. Would this mean a shift of focus from winning wars?
Wait a second, are they shifting the culture to be more lethal, to be more effective on the battlefield? If they were, you'd be like, I'm all in. If it takes all trans women to kick ass the most in the military, okay, I'm in. But I don't think that's what they're doing. It's a social experiment here. It's what we're finding. Ultimately, it's not helping recruiting. If it was, I'd be like,
pushing an agenda with the whole military stuff. I don't know why. I don't know why they're doing it. Culture is changing. Culture changes every generation, right? Culture continually evolves. So now the culture is the whole transgender and acceptance and all that. So they're trying to implement that in order to go with the culture. The military, the government thinks that if they don't go with the culture, they're gonna be losing a lot of people that would want to enlist into the military. They want people to enlist. We need bodies. We don't want to go back to you receiving letters to force you and to draft you into the military. We should all be willing to go and serve, and that's not happening no more. That's not happening no more because of all this, the whole corruption, the whole culture, the whole Generation Z and all that, the whole change on softening the military and all these rules, regulations. So it's making it almost, I don't want to say impossible, but it's not intriguing anymore. It's not going to be intriguing. I joined for the challenge. I joined for the challenge. I had a 9-to-5. I wanted something else, something better, bigger, and more challenging. So I joined the military, and I found out the Marines was a little bit harder than the Navy. I was, really close of joining the Navy, and once I found out that the Marines were a little bit harder, tougher, and more challenging, then I went over there. That's the only reason. But that's what I joined for. I found out about the benefits later, after the Marine Corps, like the GI Bill and all that. So, but during my military experience, it was still tough. It was still, gung ho, the patriotic mentality and stuff like that. Now I think it's getting to be lost, not only because people are bashing the patriots now, veterans. They see a homeless veteran and they say, see, don't join the military. Look at how so-and-so ended up. Not everybody ends up like that. That can happen to anybody. That can happen to anybody. That doesn't happen just because you serve the country. It happens to anybody.
Like, well, I guess I'm a dumbass. This is the way to go, right?
Policing feelings and telling on fellow soldiers for minor speech infractions. The Canadian Minister of Defense, 𝓔𝓚 claims the changes will address long-standing, deeply ingrained prejudice present in their forces. Canadian troop strength is currently 20% understaffed, meanwhile.
When you beat into someone's head prejudice, white privilege, you do that nonstop. People just get fed up. They don't want to join anymore. They're like, the military seems like I'm going to work at Twitter. I just don't know for the pay, the headaches. I don't want to do it. And then you see what happens on the withdrawal from Afghanistan. Did the leadership really like me? They don't see.
Yeah, just, you know, the whole respect is being lost. The whole respect of you wanting to come and serve, and you know you're going to be taken care of, protected, trained well, educated, so on and so on. There's that trust is diminishing. The angry bootneck. Hey, glad to have you, my friend. Love the stash, Manny 𝓔𝓵 battle brother. Yep. Oh yeah. Trying to do something different, my friend. Glad to have you here on the live stream. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Why people are not joining the military. We've been going through a couple of points here and there, but you know, my conclusion is distrust. You know, there's no more trust. You don't want to go into a company. You don't want to work for a company out here in the civilian world that you know has a bad reputation. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. It's going to cost you to inherit their problems, and you know, not only mental health but also physical health comes along with that. So you don't want that. You want to be attached to a good, wholesome environment, somebody that you can trust, has that respect, you know, and you go and you get what you go for. In the military, like I said earlier, I went for that challenge to get out of my comfort zone. I don't want to hear none of this new culture going on, this whole woke thing, you know, whatever. You know, if you want to do that on your own time. The military stands for defense, defending. Okay, so that's all we want to do. We want to train and be a powerful military organization to where if anything happens, then we're there to defend or be in the offensive.
Seem to like young enlisted because they're always burning them and shitting on them, meanwhile virtue signaling and now having to shell out 50 grand
for
February
bonus. 2nd, 2022, while Russia was preparing to invade Ukraine, the British Army was ordered by Chief of the General Staff, General Sir Mark Carlington-Smith, to stop training for a day to reflect on inclusivity.
So what you're saying here is, if you're a white guy, you're going to get taken out of the process, but we'll let the women and the ethnic minorities go through.
Whether the US, UK, or Canadian forces truly need to change their culture or not, the steps that are taken in order to achieve those changes.
In my opinion, that is the reason why nobody will want to join the military right now. I gotta check the stats and all that, see how kind of where the stats are on people joining, but I've been hearing here and there that nobody really wants to join the military anymore. I have kids myself. These guys, you know, they can go to the military if they want. Do I push it on them? No. If they want to go, I'm gonna have to have a very serious talk with them before they go, because it is different now. It's not the same to when I went to the military. It is totally different. There's a lot more going on, and you know, I can only say so much. But again, you got to be careful with everything, right? You got to be careful with everything, but get some knowledge before you get yourself into something. I think that's going to be the wise thing to do, is get some knowledge before you're going to go get yourself into something. And even before now, in the future, I think that's what we need to just do every time. Can you still be successful in the military right now? You tell me. I think so. I think you can. You going in there with a positive mentality and just watching out for yourself. Watching out a little bit more than usual. You should always be watching out no matter where you go. If somebody says, oh, this company is very respectful, they will never put you in a position where they're going to hinder your career or whatever. Has this good name for them. But then you go in there, you put down your guard, something happens, and there you have it. As a person, you lose your trust with everybody, because now, before you didn't trust those that had a better reputation, and now you're not going to trust those that claim to have a good reputation and they let you down. that does a lot to the mental health, and I think that's what's going on with the military.
Changes are sometimes strange. The advertising in the United States was likely well-intended.
The steps aren't working. Clearly, recruitment is this far down. It's calling it strange. I'm going to call it stupid. It's not working. Recruitment's in the shitter. I put a community poll out. I think over 50,000 people said they don't trust the current leadership to focus on mission. It's become a social experiment. Kids can't join and just have fun with it. They've softened it up. It's not working well.
It was meant to shatter negative perceptions of the Army about how it isn't accepting of certain groups of people. And to be fair, the U.S. Army has only allowed certain orientations to openly serve for 10 years out of the past 225 years.
Now, why do you think that is? Just the other day, the
Federal Appeals Court says Americans with Disabilities Act protections cover gender dysphoria, handing a win to trans people. There you have it.
The administration came out and says if you're trans, you're disabled. So how can those people make it through MEPS if they're considered mentally defective, we'll call it, or disabled? They're not going to go in the military. That's how this normally would work.
The institution has existed.
So on paper, creating an ad that explains that everyone is welcome in the Army doesn't sound like that bad of an idea.
Whether or not the advertising succeeded in that regard is up for debate, but it did fail.
Oh, wait a second. There is no debate here. How many Emmas joined the military because of the ad? How many people decided not to because the ad was stupid and they thought it was woke bullshit? I mean, come on now. We know the answer here.
Its purpose of boosting recruiting numbers.
Evidence that media has a huge impact on recruiting numbers comes straight from the Navy's 500% boosted numbers from Top Gun.
Joining the military is about becoming a part of a uniform team. The problem with these commercials isn't that it's about woke theory. It's the fact that they fail to explain what the common values of the Western world.
I'm going to completely disagree. The wokeness is off-putting. People don't like it. Young kids that were raised in a bubble getting 8th place trophies, they want to be challenged. They don't want more woke bullshit. They want to be men, right? Or they want to be tough ladies, whatever you want to call it here. They don't need this molly-coddling Mothers of America, ABC Mafia engaged in the military. They want to be in the military. What they do on their personal time sexually has no bearing on how to recruit them.
And number 4, unqualified citizens.
According to the Department of Defense, approximately
7 in 10 youth will fail.
70 to 75% of young Americans today are not even qualified to serve right off the bat.
Since I'm older than most of you, let me tell you this. When I was growing up, most kids...
Yeah, so that's another reason why people are not joining the military, because of the physical standards, your body composition standards, your strength, fitness strength standards. As you can see, a lot of people are behind desks now. They don't even go outdoors anymore. They're gaining weight. We can check the obesity epidemic, right? We can check all that. So how are we gonna get recruits into the military? Don't tell me that they lower down the standards to enter the military to where it used to be you can't weight, no more than 180 pounds at 5'8". Well, now, since everybody's getting bigger, more fat, then let's go ahead and raise it. All right, you can't be no more than 200 pounds. And now, where is it at now? Are they gonna go ahead and elevate the standards to where more weight, heavier recruits are able to enter? What is that gonna do to the military? Fitness-wise, strength-wise, health-wise. That's going to be a run-down, unhealthy military organization. So I'm going to leave it right here. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. If you're new here on my channel, don't forget to subscribe and also hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss none of my future live streams. I'll be getting on here live on random days, times, because I have not set an established time, but I will pretty soon. But there you have it. I'm going to be doing more reaction videos like this. I'm going to be doing a reaction video on my comments in the comment section. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Other than that, if you guys like these videos, don't forget to hit that like button. And I'll see you on the next one. You take care. Be safe. Mind, body, and strive.